Hi, it's Kazzrie again, and today I'm going to show you how to make nut milk or almond milk. It's really easy. All you need is a blender, a nut milk bag, but you can also use a paint straining bag. So I just got this at my local paint store. It was, I don't know, $1.50 or something like that. And it's just a white mesh bag. It has an elastic at the top. This is your key tool for making milk. So I'm just going to put the nut milk bag into a jar or jug. You want something with a spout so that you can pour it. And you also need a strainer and a bowl or sink just to drain. And you need some cookies for later. Okay, so you choose your nut or seed. You can use almond milk is the most popular kind. Earlier today I made pumpkin seed milk. It has a very pale, slight green tinge to it, but it's really good. And then, anyway, with the almond pulp, I made these cookies. I'll tell you about after. So, what I have here is sunflower seeds. And what you want to do is you want to soak your nuts, soak your seeds. This should be the way we always eat our nuts and seeds, always soaked. It's not always, what's the word I'm looking for? Practical. And also in some recipes you want them dry. But if you can, if it's possible, always soak your nuts and seeds, and especially when you're making your milk. Minimum 4 hours and up to 8. Overnight is great, or you just soak them in the morning before you leave for work. When you come home from work, they're ready to go. So you soak them. And I will tell you why. So this is my kind of layman's term, non-scientific reason. If you want to look it up, go ahead. But basically, I'm looking at my jar, my shelves, I've got all these nuts and seeds and jars on my shelf over here. And when you think about them, they just can sit there for years. And you can open up your jar and you can eat your nuts and seeds. They're not going to go bad. But as soon as they become moist, they become damp, within a couple of weeks they'll probably start to grow mold on them because it's like they come to life. So nuts and seeds in their dry state are not all that easily digestible to the body. They are, but it's more difficult. But when you soak them, you're releasing what's called an enzyme inhibitor. So that means you're kind of activating them, bringing them back to life, and that makes them more digestible to your body. So that's basically why. Okay, nut milk time. You've soaked your nuts and seeds for 4 hours, up to 8 hours. Pour them in the strainer. And then I'm just going to go over to my sink. I'm going to give them a really good rinse. Okay, so they're nice and rinsed. And by the way, I've never made sunflower seed milk. I've made almond milk and pumpkin milk, but not sunflower seeds, so it's going to be a surprise. I've made sesame seed milk as well. I found the sesame seed milk to be quite strong. It kind of tasted like liquid tahini. So it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. Okay, so you have your sunflower seeds. You add 2 to 3 cups of water, depending on how thick you want it. So that was 2 cups. And I'm going to add a wee little bit more. And then, I wonder if I cover it. Okay, so just get your blender ready and blend. So, pardon the noise. Done. As long as you break them up. So now you've got already something really foamy and white. So you pour it into your jug that has the nut milk bag. And the elastic hopefully is going to keep that bag attached there, connected. So that aside. And now, look at that. We have nut milk. And now the key is you're gonna kind of milk this like you milk a cow. You gotta squeeze all the liquid out of the bag. And this jug is really not that practical because I can't really get my hand in properly. Ideally, the best thing to have would be like a big open jug of some kind with the, like a pouring kind of spout. So I think what I'm going to get is a big, is it a 4-cup measuring cup? That would be ideal. So you just keep squeezing until it's all dry. And then you're good to go. So you have 2 options for your milk. You can leave it as is, so it's just a plain tasting milk, or you can sweeten it. So you would just throw it back into your blender, give the blender a rinse first, and then put it back in the blender, add a little bit of sweetener like maybe a date, maybe some honey or maple syrup, and a little bit of vanilla, and maybe some cinnamon. So you have a nice slightly sweetened milk. And do add a pinch of salt, Himalayan pink salt or some sea salt, just like the slightest pinch, and it'll just kind of enhance the flavor. So there you go, we have a nice milk. And then we have this bag full of pulp, and if you Google raw recipe almond pulp, raw recipe sesame pulp, you'll find all kinds of recipes. You can make breads, crackers, cookies, and so it's just this white mush. So with my pumpkin seed pulp from earlier today, I'm just going to go rinse my hands here. With my pumpkin seed pulp, I was kind of craving ginger molasses cookies, so I found a recipe, and I made these beautiful little cookies that taste just like ginger molasses cookies. I don't have a dehydrator, so I did put them in the oven on the lowest setting just so they kind of got a little bit crispy on the outside, but they're still nice and gooey on the inside. So I'm just going to get a glass, and I'm going to try sesame seed milk. I have no idea if this is going to be good or not. Actually, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. My preference is still the pumpkin or the almond, but if someone has nut allergies, this is a great alternative. And I didn't even add the vanilla and the other flavors yet, so it would taste a lot better with that. So it's pretty good. And the reason why you want to make your own nut and seed milk, first of all, it's going to be cheaper, or it might even be the same price. Like 1 cup of almonds is around $2, and that's what you pay for your carton of almond milk. But what are they putting in that box of almond milk to keep it on the shelf for years? You know, they do have to put some kind of preservatives in there, and they do add some other, they do add all kinds of stuff. If you look at the ingredients, there's words that I don't even know what they mean on there. So this way, you're getting nothing but nice filtered water and your nut or your seed. And so it's nice and wholesome, and also you end up with your pulp. And you don't throw that away. If you're not making something right away, just put that in a Ziploc bag, stick it in the freezer, label it, the date and what it is, and then whenever you feel like making some kind of cookies or crackers, you just take your pulp out of the freezer, and then you're good to go. So, milk and cookie time. These cookies are so good. Cheers.